Hey everybody, it's Ross and I'm excited about April Fool's Day. No, I'm not excited about April Fool's Day. In fact, I don't even know how April Fool's Day begun. You look on Google and there's tens and tens and tens and tens of reasons and historical documentation on where April Fool's Day came. And fool is considered a bad connotation. Nobody would want to be called a fool, and certainly I've done some foolish things in my life, and I know that you can relate to the same thing. We all have done foolish things. What do you consider foolish? Well, there's many things that we can do in our everyday lives to be foolish. You could drive without brakes, knowing that you didn't have brakes. That would be foolish. Or maybe jumping out of an airplane without a backup parachute. That would be foolish. I mean, there's a lot of ways we can act and do in our lives that are foolish. Nobody likes to be called a fool. And certainly I wouldn't want to be called a fool. And according to the Bible, though, I have exciting news. I'm not a fool. The Bible says clearly that the one who professes there is no God is the one that's a fool. I mean, think about it for a minute. The foolish man in his heart says there is no God. Can you imagine that? I mean, people all around this world, many people that I meet say there's no God. They just want to say, not interested, or there's no God, because they won't come to grips with their own sin. You know, a person that's truly on his way to believing in God has to come to grips with his own sin, because God is perfectly holy. And so a person that's not interested in seeking God, and he sees God in creation, or he knows there is a God because of his conscience. When he does wrong, his conscience says you're lying. When he does something like stealing, his conscience says you're stealing. God put a conscience in every man, woman, boy, and girl to demonstrate that he is real, he is there, and there is a God. Only the foolish person says there is no God. Have you said there is no God, or do you believe in God, or do you believe in the God of the Bible? If you're not sure about your eternal destiny or who God is, or you're just not quite sure about what you believe and where you would go if you died today, go to a website called needgod.com. It's real easy to remember, needgod.com. I had an atheist friend the other day that was talking to me, and he said something. We were talking back and forth, and he said, "Oh my Lord." And I thought to him, wait a minute, aren't you an atheist? He used the word Lord. I mean, can you imagine that? But foolish is dying in your own sins, paying for your own sins for eternity, when God does not want anyone to pay for their own sins. Dying in your own sins, paying for them for eternity in anguish and in pain is definitely a foolish person. Would you drive in your car knowing that you had no brakes? No, you wouldn't. Not at all. Well, I'm going to implore you to go to the website needgod.com, take a look at it to see if you, according to God, are foolish. I hope you're not. The foolish man in his heart says there is no God. I hope you believe in God, the God of the Bible. So hopefully this message will find you somewhere encouraged. Make sure you look me up on Facebook. I've got lots of videos on food, fun, faith, family, and friends. Something for everyone. I have a lot of interest, and I know that you do too. So always remember my motto: do what you can, where you can, when you can, the best you can. But do something. Hope to see you down the road. Take care, and God bless.